So right now, I'm about to drive my wife to a federal facility um, to be. She has to surrender herself there, and this is due to the Harris Biden administration. And any husband in this country, anyone that's married knows, any mother, any father knows that separation from your loved one, separation from a mother and a daughter at 2 years old is traumatic, and no American citizen should have to experience this in this country. Obama.
Welcome back, Warriors. This is me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Today, we got to talk about Bevelyn Williams. Bevelyn Beatty Williams, the woman who was arrested, and she was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for protesting outside of the abortion clinic. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, watch the video to the end. Now let's get into it. So Kamala Harris is doing what she always does. Yes, a Democrat. The Democrats love separating Black families. They've been doing it since the slavery days. That's what they do, separate people from their loved ones. Let's check this out. So here is all over social media. It says Mark Levin is furious over DOJ's 3.5-year prison sentence of young pro-life mom Bevelyn Beatty Williams. Let's see what Mark Levin has to say.
Harris-Biden war on pro-lifers. It's grotesque. You don't even have to be in support of the pro-life movement to see it. Pro-life activist and mother of young daughter, Bevelyn Beatty Williams, announced this past Tuesday that her stay of appeal request has been denied. What did she do? She protested in front of a Planned Parenthood clinic. And so they used this FACE Act, Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, more aggressively than any administration since this law has been passed to do what? To put these people, mothers, grandmothers, just people, activists who are protesting in prison for years. Not the people who are going after the Jews, the anti-Semites, the River to the Sea crowd, and all them. I want you to listen to her husband this week. Go.
So right now, I'm about to drive my wife to a federal facility to be. She has to surrender herself there, and this is due to the Harris Biden administration. And any husband in this country, anyone that's married knows, any mother, any father knows that separation from your loved one, separation from a mother and a daughter at 2 years old is traumatic, and no American citizen should have to experience this in this country. Obama has the audacity to speak to Black men and tell Black men they need to vote for Kamala Harris, when Kamala Harris administration has separated me from my wife and my wife from her daughter at 2 years old for unlawful assembly. My wife is facing 3.5 years for unlawful assembly and federal time, y'all. Okay, federal time. And it's devastating for our family, but we're going to get through this. But I want people to know in this country, mothers, fathers, single mothers, that this cannot be tolerated, and you should not vote for Kamala, because voting for Kamala would do things.
When she was DA in San Francisco.
Oh, we can see that Kamala Harris's history continues of separating Black people, separating them from their families. It continues. And Mark Levin was about to say, as DA of San Francisco, she separated Black people from their families. Again, we all know how Tulsi Gabbard really shut her down at the 2020 presidential debate just a few short years ago, when she talked about how Kamala Harris imprisoned Black men for minor drug offenses, and she herself laughed about smoking weed. And she extended their sentences far and above beyond what they were supposed to be sentenced, and used them for cheap labor. Sounds like slavery, doesn't it? And as it goes on to say, this is Bevelyn Williams herself. She says, "This is my surrender paperwork. I just want you guys to know what the media said about me being violent is a lie. My category of offense is unlawful assembly. Please share this. People need to know the truth. 41 months, which is 3.5 years, for unlawful assembly under the Biden-Harris administration." And it shows it here that it was for unlawful assembly. And we all saw the clip of her husband saying, do not vote for this woman. It says, this is Bevelyn Beatty Williams. She's a wife and mother. She's going to federal prison for 3.5 years today for protecting women and unborn children outside of an abortion facility in New York. She's only 33 years old. Pray for her and her family. Pray for her. Jailing pro-lifers must end. Look at this beautiful face. Oh my gosh. Just gorgeous. We are so sorry. Warriors, be praying for this whole family and others who might be experiencing this. This is, I don't know if you guys realize what's going on. I know you guys who watch my channel too, but just in case you stumble across my channel and you're not really familiar with what's going on, this is the war between good and evil. I haven't said that in a long time, but let me just reiterate. This is a war between good and evil. Okay? Kamala Harris most recently at a Wisconsin rally was telling someone who said Jesus is Lord, is like, you're at the wrong rally. And then she appears at Jamal Bryant's church, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia. And if you know anything about Jamal Bryant, he looks like he's one of those allegedly false prophets, right? So we know what Kamala is about. Unaliving of unborn children. And I want to share with you this act that Mark Levin was talking about. So it says, Tennessee woman sentenced to 41 months in prison for violating the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act. It says, Damian Williams, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, announced today that Bevelyn Beatty Williams was sentenced to 41 months in prison for violating the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, the FACE Act, in June 2020 in connection with her interference, including by threats and force, with individuals seeking to obtain and provide lawful reproductive health services at a reproductive health center in Manhattan. On February 22nd, 2024, Williams was convicted after a 9-day jury trial of one count of violating the FACE Act before U.S. District Judge Jennifer L. Rashan, who imposed today's sentence. Wow. According to evidence admitted at trial and other public filings and statements made in court on June 19th, 2020 and June 20th, 2020, Williams threatened and used force against patients and staff members at a reproductive health center located in Lower Manhattan and blocked patients and staff members from accessing the health center. In one instance, and as captured on video, Williams pressed her body against the door of the health center's patient entrance and refused to move, preventing a health center volunteer from entering the health center. As a health center staff member attempted to open the door for the volunteer, Williams purposefully leaned against the door, crushing victim one's hand. Victim one yelled, "She's crushing my hand," but Williams remained against the door, trapping victim one's hand and injuring it. And it says at various times on June 19th and 20th, 2020, Williams stood directly in front of the health center entrances. Williams initially blocked the main entrance used by patients, causing the health center to have to divert patients to enter through the staff entrance. Williams responded by moving to block the staff entrance and directing others to do the same. And this article goes on, and I'll have it linked in the description. It's justice.gov. This is Bevelyn Williams. This was in Manhattan where this occurred, which of course is an eclectic leftist state of New York. So this does make it sound bad, I hate to say, if this happened the way they're saying it happened, which I don't doubt that the media is being untruthful, because we know they don't always tell the truth and they exaggerate things, right? She may have blocked the entrance. I'm not sure. If she blocked the entrance and this is the act, they should have just told her, and I read the act to you, the FACE Act. They should have just told her that you can't do that. This is your first offense. Don't do this again, and let her go. Okay, I'm not sure about the whole injuring of someone's hand, if that actually happened. You guys can let me know in the comments below. But I know that there is war against believers. This is a battle between good and evil. This is what this is. Make no mistake. And I don't think she should have gotten 3.5 years. Maybe just some kind of a warning or something much less strict. I mean, again, This is the same administration that is catching and releasing hardcore criminals. You know what you're going to get? You're going to get a lot of these people who are clefty lefties that are so pro-choice. They're okay with someone taking the life of an unborn child. But yet, and still, they don't scream and holler against these illegal immigrants entering our country illegally, being caught, captured, and then released to continue mayhem. These people are hardcore criminals, but yet the Biden-Harris administration isn't doing anything like what they're doing to Bevelyn Beatty Williams. Okay, so you have a law that says you can't, block someone's entrance. Okay, fine. All right, but do you have to make it this strict? This woman probably doesn't have anything on her record other than a speeding ticket, if that. Okay, by all accounts, she appears to be a law-abiding citizen, but you have these others that are entering the country illegally that are being captured and released. I want everybody to think about what I am saying. But others who let us say that's what she gets. She injured someone's hand. You are preventing us from making a choice for our bodies. Yes, lock her up. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It says rescue children from abortion, 3.5 years in prison. Look at this picture. Beatty Williams is on the left. She receives 3.5 years for peacefully protesting abortion. And the man over to the right gets what? He gets 6 months for doing awful things to children, abusing children in a very perverse way. And it says, meanwhile, men like 20-year-old Mohammed Shaei faces only 6 months in prison for repeatedly abusing multiple adolescent children. Christian pro-lifers are being targeted by a corrupt Biden-Harris DOJ. It will get much worse if Harris is elected. Burn down half the country in BLM riots, and Harris will literally bail you out of jail. Stand up for the unborn, and Harris will throw the book at you, lock you up, and throw away the key. The injustice is plain. They're not hiding it. They're out to reward their friends and crush their enemies, and they will use the justice system to do it. Real persecution is coming. We have a chance to stand up to the tyrants who hate Christ and hate the pro-life cause on November 5th. Trump is a very flawed candidate, but at the very least, he will not activate his DOJ to target pro-lifers who want to abolish child sacrifice. Do not waste your vote next month. Bevelyn, along with all the other pro-lifers currently in prison or facing prison time, should receive a full pardon from the real Donald Trump once in office. We, the people, must make repealing the FACE Act a political priority. Please pray for Bevelyn and her husband and little baby. May God comfort them and sustain them through this trial. In the strong name, the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. This is exactly what I was talking about. People get much smaller sentences for doing horrible things to children, and she's trying to protect children. If we don't see what is really happening, I don't really know what to say about you. If you don't see this is a battle between good and evil. You know, the Democrat Party, I often call them the God-hating, baby-hating, child-hating, doesn't know what a woman is, real man-hating party. Oh, they like other types of men. But when you stand up and be a real man and be the way that God made you to protect your family like a Corey Comparatori, and there are many other examples, they call you toxic. Judge Joe Brown said it himself. He left the Democrats and became an independent because they are anti-man and anti-family. They have proven their hatred towards God. You know what she said at her Wisconsin rally? You're at the wrong rally. She said that when someone said Christ is Lord. She said that. You must think you at the smaller one down the street, and then had the nerve to appear at a church. Well, it was a fake church anyway. I hate to say it. And somebody who goes to that church probably wants me to keep their pastor's mouth in church, out of my mouth. But it is what it is, okay? But I just wanted to share that with you guys so that we can pray for Bevelyn and her entire family, all those who love her, especially her husband and children. You saw the beautiful picture. It is beyond comprehension what is actually happening in our country right now. We are truly, truly in the last of the last days. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel on my way to 100,000 subscribers, guys. You can also follow me on X, Instagram, and TikTok at ChatWithMeLindaB. You can also email me, ChatWithMeLindaB at gmail.com. And I'm also on Rumble, and you can put in ChatWithMeLindaB, but type it in as one word when you are on Rumble. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America. And as they always say, march on, warriors.